All right, y'all. We're at 6:10, 6:11, so we started right on time. How everybody week was? Did nobody make it through the week? Y'all can hear me?
Well, my week was pretty cool, other than the dog situation. I
Yeah.
feel pretty accomplished with some of my business and personal goals.
Set, go reaching. That's what I'm talking about. Um, so the conversation tonight is called Let's Talk Teachers, right? Uh, for this conversation, y'all, like I'm gonna really need y'all to unmute uh and carry the conversation with me.
Understood.
Um, it's a bunch of folks that do homeschooling, right? Homeschooling is your thing. Let's talk tonight about how do we do it? What are we teaching? Who are we getting to teach the the homeschoolers, the young learners? Who are we looking to get them the information outside of yourself and what you know?
Well, I know for us, outside of me, teaching. Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I have been using this program called Power Homeschool just for like the basics of math. I'm gonna sit down. But just the daily, like I'm in North Carolina, so everything that is like the standardized thing for math and all of that, just to kind of cover my bases a little bit. But when it comes down to the stuff that I don't know, I do reach out to whoever is the best at that thing. So right now, when it comes to like, I have a 16, so she's learning how to drive and the things that, we all need to know growing up. My dad has been helping with a lot of that, even like the gun knowledge and like the driving. I'm sorry, not the driving, the gun range type stuff. I kind of employ him to help with that type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Hold on, baby.
Toolbox right there.
What was the question?
Yeah.
I kind of missed it.
So the question was, the topic for tonight is let's talk teachers. So there's a bunch of folks here that is into homeschooling. So I'm questioning and asking, what is it that you're teaching? Like, what teachers do you go to outside of yourself? Um, I believe who was it? Shakia was just telling us about a program that she uses. Shakia, if you can you drop it in the chat? What it's called or the website?
Yeah, I definitely can. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay, I'm back. I also like Shakia. I use Power Homeschool as well. Just to, I guess, quote unquote, comply with whatever the state regulations are to make sure that I have something that's documenting for the core subject matters for schooling and to keep these white folks from knocking on my door. since my kids are not enrolled in any form of public school at all. And in the state of Kansas and Missouri, they like to bother you if your children are not enrolled into public schools. But in addition to that, and outside of myself teaching, like for other subject matters, like my fiance, he does
I'm
music,
not
so he
really.
teaches them. Go ahead, Linda.
No, I didn't even realize you were still speaking. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll talk after you.
Okay. My fiance teaches them things that pertain to music and music history. Their dad and my son's coaches, because he does football and my daughter does cheerleading, so their coaches help with things that are pertaining to physical education outside of what they do at home. Their sister, who's outside of the home, does crafts and things like that, or comes up with crafts ideas for them to do.
Okay.
And then there's always YouTube, you and Derek.
All right.
There's another program I want to share that I use for extracurriculars. Like you mentioned, the crafts and the things of that nature. It's called Schoolhouse Teachers. And what I love about it is it's kind of like Power Homeschool. There's no set schedule or anything, but you log in and you kind of use what you want to use. But just for like $15 a month, you get access to so many online resources. So blogs and other websites that have different courses for so many different things. If you are doing a unit study for something in particular, it just gives you access to all these different resources, just going through them on this one site.
Okay.
I'll drop that too as well because I use that one a lot.
What is it called?
It's called Schoolhouse Teachers. And I mean, from meal planning to, home economics to science, dinosaur, studies, if you want to dig deep into that, using the Bible, just different courses for different ages. It's pretty awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, again, another
Look
shout out
pretty.
to Shakia, because I checked out the Schoolhouse Teachers also, and I just recently joined them too.
Mm-hmm.
They have an affiliate program. I
Yeah.
joined that also.
Oh, okay. How the affiliate program work?
Well, you have to, of course, do a application and whatnot, but they literally just got back with me yesterday with the approval, or Friday rather, with the approval. So I'm diving into that this week to find out exactly how it goes.
All right. Let me know. You can make some money with them.
Yep,
I'm getting. Oh shit! Please let me know.
I will do.
I think that if you write for them too, which I was looking into getting into, that they'll give you a free membership if you
What was the
create
other
like a
one called?
course for them.
What was the other one called?
Schoolhouse Teachers.
And I actually like their payment process better than Power Homeschool because I like the option to be able to pay monthly, yearly, or quarterly.
Right.
And then they have it based where you can do they have courses for the entire family because there's adult courses also.
Okay. So this
Hey,
is.
I got a question real quick when it comes to that, to homeschooling. You know how they got like public schools and private schools. It might be like a stupid question, it might or sound stupid, but you know how they got like public schools and private schools. Like, do they have like for homeschooling? Do they have like different categories of homeschooling like that? If my question makes sense to asking.
When you say categories, can you be more specific?
Yeah, so like you know how they got like public schools, charter schools, private schools. So like when it comes to homeschooling, like do they have different like categories like with homeschooling, or is
So
it just one like when you homeschool?
I'm gonna say no, because it's you. You choose what you want to do with your children. So there are, like, I remember when my children were younger, I used a program called K-12. So that is public school at home. So they would send you a laptop for your child. They would send you all the materials you need, the textbooks, everything. And you pretty much go through what they tell you to do with your child each day, and you do that. So that's, some people consider that homeschooling. I don't, because it's public school. You're just administering it to your child at the house. Now, when you register with your city and state to homeschool your child, you're responsible to figure out what curriculum you're going to use and all of that. So Power Homeschool, the thing I like about it is everything's already there and your kids can kind of do it on their own. Or this is at least how I use it. I tell them what I expect from them each day and how long and how much I need for them to do. And they go and they do it. And I don't have to babysit them each and every step of the way, if that makes any sense.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So pretty much like you pretty much have like your own course of curriculum that you could have for your kid.
You could find a website that's the math that you want to teach your children, and you could only do that. You can use that alone as your math. Or some people unschool with it. There's no particular curriculum. They just kind of go with the flow of the day. That's kind of how more so I would say I do. But we do a lot of reading together. Like I said on another call, I just kind of print stuff out and be like, hey, y'all, let's sit up and read this. So we'll read that and we might watch videos on it and this, that, and the third. But they do the Power Homeschool. Like I think Derica said, it's kind of just to make sure the basis is covered for that paperwork side, you know.
Yeah. And then I think too, to further tap in and answer your question, like sometimes it might go by your state, because here I registered my school with the state, but we're considered a non-accredited private school.
Oh wow. Man, that's dope though.
Yeah. And I do kind of like what Shakia just said too with the subject matter sometimes, but sometimes I print things out, but the kids tend to throw that away. So what I do now is, if a subject comes up and I know that there's a movie pertaining to that or a YouTube documentary, we'll just immediately turn that on. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. If my kids are up at 1 o'clock in the morning, we're at school at 1 o'clock in the morning if the subject matter comes up.
Same.
Nice. All right, that's dope.
So look, watch this, y'all. I'm gonna play this like quick 1-minute video, right? From what is it? Schoolhouse Teachers. I'm watching it for the first time with y'all. I'm gonna speak to what you was just referring to, right?
Cool.
At Schoolhouse Teachers, we believe you are the best teacher for your children. That's why we equipped you with the tools you'll need all in one place. Whether you've been at it for a while or you're just getting started with homeschooling, we've got you covered. For one monthly subscription price, your entire family will gain access to our vast library filled with hundreds of Bible-based curriculums from pre-K through high school. SchoolhouseTeachers.com empowers you and your children to work at your own pace, be on the same page, and discover together. With our lesson plans and planners, you can teach with confidence. No more struggling to plan out your day. Your subscription includes resources like World Book Online, hundreds of videos on demand, and so much more. Our Focused Learning Center offers a little extra help, allowing students to dive deeper into core subjects. We know you'll have questions, so our live chat support is just a click away. We know homeschool parents because we are homeschool parents. SchoolhouseTeachers.com connects you with the resources we know you'll need. Just point, click, and teach.
Okay, my bad, y'all. That was a horrible waste of time. I just ran an ad. My bad. But like I said, it was my first time seeing the shit, right? So to what you were saying, like whether there are different public, parochial, private, Montessori, homeschooling, I'm gonna double down on what I believe Shakir and Derek was saying. Man, do this shit however you want. It's your show. They're your kids, right?
Or
Find the things that your kids fuck with, right? Find the teachers that your kids can relate to. Uh, am I stuck on their teacher's pigmentation? No, but it's important. Okay. The thought of, are there different types of homeschooling? Hell yeah. It's folks that homeschool and they want to farm. And part of their homeschooling curriculum is learning about animals, is working the farm. as long as they, as long as you as a homeschooler have it thought out and your kids don't feel like you just ramshackle putting together whatever happens today and y'all just hanging out with me living my life, right? And I uh ended up at the doctors with grandma all day, right? And you was at the doctors with grandma all day, right? So was you homeschooling or not? You could have been, because this could have been the trip to the hospital, right? So when you got your kids and you walking them around the hospital, it's, what does that sign say? Spell that out while we sitting here, you know, and showing them the inner workings of the hospital and explaining to them when the RN comes in, when the this comes in, when the that comes in. So they learned that today, right? But you're intentional when you're around them children that this is what's happening. Now, to be able to go find the other supplementary curriculums, it's a plus, 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 plus. And then you're a part of this community. So it's a super duper plus, 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 because you have access to all of these, let's just call them unconventional teachings. But these teachings are super duper relevant. Then for me, the plus, 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 however, if I double it up, I can't remember, right? But you have the ability to be writing your Bible at the same time and documenting it. And as you document it, when those children are older, they now have a Bible, have a blueprint that they have, but that they can share with their kids and know that I'm going to continue this thing that mommy was doing, because this is part of, this was part of what our life was. Our life was writing this book. So the different sections now from their eyes, you can add and hopefully have them writing with you as well. So now your great great grandkids is now reading what their grandma wrote.
So
Is it making sense?
yeah,
yeah, it make a lot of sense.
can I chime in though?
For sure.
And I don't want to be extra because I like that we stay on this subject or whatever, because I wish I would have done it for mine, but in the future, it's something that I definitely want to be able to talk to about with my mate if we decide to have more kids. With that being said, we talk about, the kids, but, I think we need to have something set aside for us to understand how to deprogram from the system that we was taught to maybe reprogram into the idea of being able to provide a different insight or outside insight for the kids growing up. Even the teenagers, at the end of the day, it's a lot of people that's lost right now or they're set in mind, and the times are going really fast. We're getting ready to go into a technology spot where if you don't know the basics of a computer, you will be obsolete. And I think that that's important for us as being able to be the shepherds to little grown people. I don't look at them as children, or I know that's what they are, but I look at them as we their guardians, and they're little grown people that we got to make sure that we give the tools necessary to not only survive but thrive in the future. So I just wanted to put that out there, and if anybody wants to actually, do dialogue, I'm more than welcome. If it's something we need to talk about later on, I'm cool with that as well.
And I agree with you 100%, my brother. But if you go into the mighty, DG, he got the whole like unlearn and relearn. Like you watch the videos, and it's a lot of videos in there on like mindset and all that, just to add to what you're saying.
And what I do too, with my children is I focus, especially when I first started homeschooling, I focus more on building relationships with them, just kind of chilling with them. We play games, we laugh, we talk. There's a label on it. They call it unschooling, or like, I can't remember, but there's a period of time where you just chill. So when everybody's mind is like, oh, we're not schooling because we're used to getting this big textbook and sitting down and having these lessons printed out, and we're force feeding information and memorizing it, but we're not really absorbing what we're learning. So to kind of get out of that headspace, I just really focus on building that trust and that bond with your child so that they even trust the information that's coming out. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. I'm gonna definitely take a look at those lessons too in the mighty. Like I said, I got all the information, purchased it, kind of looked at it. Spent a lot of up and downs in life. This week was a shit storm right here. So it's just you can't make no excuses. But I've been whooped the later part of this year, and so I was just trying to focus on the survival. But I do got you, and I do understand where you're coming from, and you with the teaching about trying to make them feel like at the end of the day they can trust your teaching. So, definitely appreciate y'all for the providing that insight.
I got a question.
No doubt,
For
brother.
anybody that may have a solution. So, how would y'all recommend I go about getting my son mother on board with homeschooling? Because I've already homeschooled my son for like a year. Um, I've been on this homeschooling tip since he was born. So like it was something that she agreed with in the beginning. And then all of a sudden one day she was just like, no, he need to go to school and all that. Whoop, whoop. The only reason why he ended up going to public schools because at the time my mama was dealing with complications with her health. So I had to be like a full-time caretaker for her. And I didn't really have time to homeschool my son. So like I ain't really got no choice. You know what I'm saying? But now his mama on some type of time, like she don't even really wanna, she don't even wanna I had basically had everything set up. He was supposed to start next year because he's 5 right now. So you don't officially start the homeschooling process until the age of 6. So I had everything, all the paperwork filled out. I knew what place he was gonna be attending school at, and I had all this curriculum and stuff set up. But now she's just kind of like, nah, I ain't fucking with this shit. So how would y'all recommend I bring that conversation back up to her in a conducive way?
What are her reasons?
So she didn't really give a reason. She kind of just like, what I said. But in the beginning, when I first talked to her about it, she was like, I just want to make sure he have a social life, which I checked off all the boxes. I was like, okay, cool. They have Facebook groups for homeschool kids to where they can still go out and socialize, go on field trips. They can go to the park. They can do experiments. I had all this stuff mapped out. Like I said, I've been doing this shit for like a year. You know what I'm saying? But I showed her like, hey, look, you was worried about his social life. I found this. I found this group. I found this group. I found that group. I done reached out to some parents. We done set up play dates. Woo woo woo. You know what I'm saying? I done say, okay, this is the curriculum he gonna be going with. I went with this homeschooling, you know what I'm saying, platform. But this time she was just like, we actually got into a whole altercation behind this. But she was just like, nah, I just said what I said. I'm like, you're not being reasonable. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't even I've given you my reasons why I wanted to homeschool him. And my reasons, she couldn't deny my reasons. Like she was like, they undeniable. Like she was like, yeah, but I don't care. Like
Well, first, it sounds like y'all need to have a conversation. One that she kind of needs to participate in and be attentive to, because she needs to have a reason as to why. There has to be something behind that, especially if she understands what your reasons are for wanting to do it. Unless her only reason is to go against what you want for your son, um, which that will be a matter of if you guys co-parent well or not, for her to understand what your reasons are and the safety. And I would press that issue.
I believe we co-parent well when she feel like she getting her way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even think it's always like a legitimate reason as to why she don't. Because I think like if you sit down and listen to my rhetoric, it's like, okay, he has legit reasons. I just want to feel like I'm getting my way. Like,
Is it possible you could supplement his education now and then just kind of show her the results of the, like this is what he's learning at school, but when he's with me and what we doing, this is how the results is coming.
that's the thing. Since I've been, because he just started school like this year. I've been homeschooling him really since he was like 3, but like consistently 4. And majority of the stuff they teaching them in school, he already knows.
Exactly.
So it's like when it come down to reading and when it like he just got student of the month this month. Majority of the stuff they teach him in school, he's more advanced than that. Like, I know his learning style. He doesn't do well sitting down looking at a book, and you know what I'm saying. Like, I know he's like me. He like his dad. He's an interactive learner. He has to like be hands on and be touching stuff. And I turn his learning into games, making it fun. So he pays more attention to it because he don't feel like he's actually learning, but he is. You know what I'm saying? And I tried to keep her in the loop of what I was doing with his homeschooling. And now that I got like a steady job and I work at night, I will be able to homeschool him the way I need to. Like, okay, I can homeschool you in the daytime. And it ain't gotta be for no 8 hours. I will homeschool him for maybe 3 to 4 hours. I'm gonna say this, like the same thing I noticed that the school would take days or weeks to learn. With me, he learned it in like 15 minutes.
That's
Literally
how it
15 minutes.
is. I'm kind of in a situation like that where I have 8 children, right? But me and my husband are separate. So right now he has 4 children with him and I got 4 with me. So the 4 that's with him is in school because that's what he wants to do right now. I don't fight it, but supplement, right? So the teachers can't even deny that what you're teaching, he knows it. They're gonna start pushing him. He's not gonna have no choice but to move ahead at some point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just let him do that. And then when you talk to her, like, look, da 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 da, this is what it is. She's like, Derica said, she can't really argue with what you're saying if the results is proven that homeschooling is better for him. It's just better for him at the end of the day.
Right.
If that's y'all's common, thing is what's best for the child.
Does
Right.
does your son like express how he feels about homeschool versus going to public school at all?
Yeah,
I know he's little, but maybe he still has opinions.
He do have an opinion. In the beginning, he didn't want to go to school. He was like, "No, Daddy, I don't want to go to school." Now, if anything, I think this is his biggest thing for wanting to go to school. He really go to school to socialize. Like, he's made friends. As far as like the curriculum is concerned, he pretty much knows it already. So it's not like
He's not challenged. He's not having fun in school. He just gets to meet his friends.
So he have friends that he done made. And I asked him the other day, I said, "Pop, do you think you want to start back going to homeschool?" And he's like, "Why you asking me that?" I was like, "Cause I just want to know how you feel about it." He was like, "Yeah, I don't care." Like, pretty much, he's like, I don't care." Like,
I can tell you that people that are like, for me, like I have a lot of unreasonable family members that are against homeschool, and they're gonna always be unreasonable because they don't have that perception or that mindset to really understand what homeschool is, period, right? So I feel like when people are unreasonable, what can you do? How can you convince them? Like, even if you show her the evidence, it's not going to change her perspective, right?
I was
Yes,
just
it
gonna
can.
say that shit.
Yes, it can. I disagree. I
Okay,
disagree with you,
okay, what
Linda.
you finna say?
Okay.
Wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly.
Well, teach me,
Exactly.
because
Exactly how you change their perspective.
how?
Do it.
That's what I just had to homeschool and just make a bunch of people angry, and I just
That's
don't
what I
care.
was gonna say. Like Dante said, hell, do it. Cause
Yeah,
the minute that I homeschooled and talked about it, everybody's thing was you trying to isolate the kids from the world.
Right.
Do that to yourself. You trying to y'all done joined the quote. No, we didn't. The cult is the world that y'all in going to school. My kids have a likelihood of joining the cult being at school than they do of being at home. I just had to show them the difference in the situation and how my kids operate now versus how they were operating at school. When my kids were at school, my daughter and my son both, they weren't as open with how they feel about certain stuff at home
Right.
because they were going to school. They were going to school not focused on the work though. They were focused on the socializing. And I was at home not able to focus on my work because I was getting phone calls every day about their socializing at school. And then they weren't able to tell me what they were learning because they weren't learning anything from teachers or the curriculum. The things they were learning were from other students, and it had nothing to do with school at all, period. So, like, the socializing, they can do that. They still socialize outside of school. They socialized more not being in public school than they did when they were in public school, because outside of a public school, they have the opportunity to socialize with people who are actually their friends, people who they know and who aren't trying to impress um a class of people to embarrass someone else or something like that. Like, there are a lot of benefits to them being out of school for social reasons as well, because now they get to socialize with people of different backgrounds and of different areas and of different understandings. They get to do different things. They get to do more socially, not being in school for 8 hours out of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So
And this the
look,
thing.
I'm sorry, go ahead, people.
I was gonna say this the thing, because whole time I didn't even want him going to school. When he goes to school, I just got a letter from the school that said a truancy letter. He missed too many days.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
I'm
how,
so fucking
how-
glad that you went where you going. Go there, bro.
I'm like, how is it that like, just to be transparent with y'all, like, this back and forth between his mom and me has gotten like physical, because she did not want him to go to she wanted him to go to public school, not did. Right. All I wanted was a conversation. So I'm like, how was you so gun-ho for him to go to public school and then turn around and have him out of school? Like, you're not taking him to school. I get a phone call one day. Your child was marked absent. I call her. I'm like, why he ain't go to school today? Oh, I was moving, this and that. Woo. I had to go to my leasing office. I say, the leasing office don't open up until 9 o'clock in the morning. He gets on the bus at 6:45 or 6:49. Why you couldn't get him to school? And I'm
Hey,
getting letters.
People, can I jump in and interrupt your bill for 1 second?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Because you fucking hit the nail on the head, cuz.
Truancy.
Yes, no, and yes, and no, and yes. Here's what it is. Your original question, right, bro, was how do you get her on to the page, right? Fuck her. No disrespect to her, right? Fuck her and fuck the page. He getting the social interaction in school right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
He got friends. He got his homeboys. He rocking and rolling. You show her by doing it, by intentionally, when you got your time with him, we still homeschooling. Like, homeschooling is our life. It's not what you say it is. You know what I'm saying? So if 8 hours a day, you go there and you do that, all these other communities, and I've said this before, when you Jewish, you go to fucking Hebrew school on Saturdays. You know what I'm saying? When you get out of school, you go to Hebrew school. When you Asian, you get out of school and you go to whatever their community school is, right? Your kids do the same fucking thing. Your son do the same thing. Now, you intentional with the time that y'all got. Okay, what other curriculums do I have? right? So I'm homeschooling. So you got their diploma, their paper, whatever, right? But if you take and you say, all right, he's gonna be with me for a week, right? Because I don't know how y'all, co-parenting situation works.
Mm.
You ain't got no control over when she take him to school, when he's out, you know what I'm saying, them sending truancy letters and all of that shit, right? What you do got control over is while he was with me one day, right, during that time when he had to go to school, he missed a day of school with me. And I can fucking give the school whatever letter, whatever conversation y'all want to have. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling the school, he's with his mother these days. You know what I'm saying? Like this day, he was sick. He was whatever I said he was. You know what I'm saying? We went on a fucking field trip to the zoo. That was what your homeschooling curriculum entailed that day. Or you can take
Mm.
him to school. But if you take him to the zoo on a Saturday, like that was like your homeschooling thing that you do, took a trip on Saturday. If
Mm.
when you got him, you know what I'm saying, like we homeschooling all the fucking time. And I'm intentional about when I'm in the kitchen cooking, you know what I'm saying? This is home economics. I'm teaching you how to make
Mm.
pancakes, son. You know what I'm saying? So the homeschooling for the co-parenting dad, the blueprint is super simple. Just be a fucking great dad.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, when he's going home and telling mom, like, I go to school, but I homeschool with dad this weekend. And here's the robotics class. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. I don't want to go do that. I'm in the crib because I'm on the game, but I'm playing this game that I learned with dad. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, look, check this out. I'm finna show you something. Hold on. I gotta turn my camera around. Look what we working on.
Yeah.
We working on this shit right now.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, you got it and you doing it. You know what I'm saying? Don't overthink it, rethink it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you tap in here. So now, and I'm gonna use just because I just happened to look at my screen and like Brian was invested in the conversation, right? You now can take and say, all right, Saturday, son, you know what I'm saying? Brian gonna be on Zoom and we're doing the fucking intro to crypto. What's crypto? All right, son, these are dollars. You know what I'm saying? This is digital money. So your cell phone, that's money right there, right? And homeboy right here, he's teaching it to 5 or 6 kids that's online right now. You just connect with him and ask him, like, yo, how can we set that up? If it's your son and it's him, if it's your son and 10 kids, right? Like at the end of the day, he wants to teach the shit. And there's folks in this community that want to teach that shit to kids.
Right.
So link up and implement the thing. Then the beauty of it is, I might be overthinking and overreaching, but you create content.
Mm.
Y'all on Zoom doing it. Still a piece of the content, you know what I'm saying? And now for your business, right? Your son is in your video. It makes
Mm.
everything with him tax deductible because you now pay him for going to school as an employee.
Facts.
He was at work when he was at homeschool with Yanni's husband, Brian. I don't want to keep calling Yanni husband. My man got a name. You know what I'm saying? But now you know how to do taxes. You know how to fucking write that shit off and where it goes. So now it's taking the things that you know and implementing them, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that you and the gang is winning.
Facts.
Show them by doing the shit, man. That's my limited opinion.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That was one thing that actually made me proud of him because when he was going to school and coming back and like everything they was giving him, he was just like, "Yeah, I did it in school already. Like it's done. Like
Spanking it.
the shit easy. Like I had him doing like I was showing him like multiplication tables. He's 5. I'm like, bro, you got the numbers down pack already. Like literally, because I made this game with him where I got these paper plates and I put a number and I put a dot to represent the number. So if it's 1, it'll be 1 dot. And I did that from 1 to I'm gonna say 1 to 10. And I put them in a circle. I gave him a ball and I got all his toys and I put a toy on top of the plate. And I say, roll the ball on top of the plate. Boom, whatever number you get, That's your first number. The second number you get, that's the second number. Add them up or subtract them. Like, okay, boom, 7 and 3, that's 10. Boom, 5 and 4, that's 9. Boom. He getting it so fast, he like this with it. Oh, daddy, that's 6. Oh, that's 7. That's, you know what I'm saying? So when he go to school, he like, oh, daddy, I know what this is. Boom, like that. Boom, like that. Like, yeah, he.
So watch this, guys. Right now, the shit that he learning in school right now, shit is important. You know what I'm saying? And this is coming from a motherfucker that I was in the 10th grade 3 times. School don't mean shit, man. Fuck them and the motherfuckers that's in. The only thing that shit is worth is the fucking building. You know what I'm saying? And where I'm from, they turned the buildings into fucking luxury condos. So the building ain't shit me. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna say to you, cuz, is keep making and coming up with inventive, creative ways to teach the young man. And he gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing that he getting from you teaching him is he getting a fucking different look, admiration, and respect for you. You know what I'm saying? So now he really that, kids feel like, my dad could beat everybody. My dad could do this. My dad could do that. You know what I'm saying? The biggest flex is when he grow up, you know what I'm saying? My dad taught me some shit. You know what I'm saying? Why I'm at where I'm at? Because my dad showed me this shit. You know what I'm saying? The thing is with us, I got, how many teachers I had, you know what I'm saying, that wrote me off, that was like, man, you's a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I told him, fuck you too, bitch. And then I went to the principal's office. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then when I went home, I told him why I said fuck you, bitch. And motherfuckers in my living room laughed. You know what I'm saying? It was like, all right, but you just can't fucking do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, say fuck her in her mind. You know what I'm saying? When she turn around, give her both of these. You know what I'm saying? But just don't fucking get caught talking shit. So, man, fuck school. I put in the chat, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough. Go check him out, y'all. I'm not telling you what to go research, what to go whoop the whoop, you know what I'm saying? But just go check Homeboy out. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And we're gonna build on it because we pushing 653. But just know that I'm imploring upon y'all, right? The homeschoolers and the regular traditional schoolers is to make sure that you tapping in and that the motherfuckers that your kids is learning from, either the Jew or the shit you put them in front of, that the motherfuckers look like them as often as possible. And that they are seeing themselves represented in the shit that you want them to do. So if you want them to read, man, I don't give a fuck. Go get them a black Superman superhero comic book. You know what I'm saying? If it's written by some black motherfucker, that's even better. I mean, but you can go find this shit for free. It's a bunch of shit out there. And as we go and grow and build, you know what I'm saying, we're going to get more in depth into this. But the thing that you all have at your freaking fingertips, let me share my screen real quick before we get out of here, is right here, yo. You want to homeschool? We can go to whoever the folks that Shakia and Power Home Economics. I don't know what they shit was called, right? We could use them, but just remember that you as a homeschooler, you got access to a bunch of shit that you could be putting them young learners in front of. And at the same time, putting yourself in front of it, learning the shit. I'm gonna skip over the all curriculum, right? And we still going. I don't know if y'all can see to the right, my mouse, I'm still scrolling down. And you see how much further I got to go. So bear with me as I continue to go through this shit. Oh, I'm gonna skip over the unreleased projects. All right.
I wanted to share something with people real quick before we jump off. or with all of you guys, really.
Shoot, what's your gun?
Okay. My son, he has an IEP, and I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. Maybe some of you guys have IEPs for your kids, but long story short, it's the special education division of Board of Education. I literally had the administrators of, like, the head of whoever the district is for my son's IEP. I had meetings with him. I had meetings with like psychotherapists that the Board of Education provides. And they know that there's an issue right now with the teachers. Even the school that I went to, the advisor will tell you, don't even go to charter schools. They have a high turnover rate. The teachers really can't, like in my son's class that he was in last year, out of 28 kids, 12 of them had IEPs, and none of them were getting sets, which is like their small individualized classes. The administration knows that right now teachers are pretty much stagnated. They're trying to do their best, but they can't. That's enough. I mean, when you got teachers telling you, hey, don't bring your kid back to the school, I even have I have a neurologist for my son as well to help me with his education plans. And she also advised, you either put him back in the independent school that I had him in that I can't afford at the moment, or I homeschool him. So, maybe that can help you people. I don't know if your son has an IEP or not, but the teachers in these schools know that they suck right now because they're limited, it's really bad. Like even my son's neurologist, the only downfall of homeschooling is the socializing, the social aspect of it. But then they tell you, make sure you put your kids in programs outside of not just even socializing on a screen, but you really need your kids to be outside and doing sports like soccer, or like I had my son in a STEM program that was with Nassau and York College, things like that. But maybe that can help you with the mother if you can get the facts together to show her that the teachers are not really teaching kids right now, and it's factual.
Right, definitely. I be knowing that, but even what you were saying about like getting them in programs, they got programs. I always forget the name of it, but it's a program they got right now for homeschool kids that for whatever county you live in, your child can still participate in sports like basketball, soccer, whatever. Public school sports, so they can still like be on the team even though they don't go to the school. You know what I'm saying? As long as you live in that county. But
It's homeschooling co-ops.
hmm I forget the name of the program. I have to look it up. But yeah, I done did like extensive research on this stuff because I was
And I
actually doing it.
I use the Celis Academy, which is similar to Power School.
it's the
And
same.
I don't know the difference really. Like, what's the difference between, like, they have it as two different websites, no?
Oh, so Acellus, when you sign up for Acellus directly, actually like a there's actually it's actually like a school program, if that makes any sense. But Power Homeschool, you're doing on your own, like self-paced.
Right.
Right. So it's called the Dexter Mosley Act. So basically, it allows your homeschool child to participate in the extracurricular activities of whatever county you live in. So whether that's like basketball, track and field, soccer, they got debate club, chess club, whatever it is they got, they can still participate in it even though they homeschool.
We have that like with rec centers out here with cheerleading and all kinds of programs.
Okay. What
And I
what
wouldn't honestly, personally, I don't over stress too much about social, because think about us as adults. Like how often do you really go out with your friends? Like, you know what I mean? Like we
right.
have things that we're focused on. We're working on our goals. Um you might call your friend, whatever, but you're not out every single day, for 8, 9 hours a day, hanging out with a group of people your age all the time. So
I tried to express that to her as well. I'd rather be more intentional with the relationships that we building. So for example, if this child's father has connections to like the tech industry or they got some type of connections to something like the same way like the Rockefellers do it, like the people that run the world, they partner with families or they, you know, certain countries they have weddings betrothed for their children because they know this is a powerful family and I have a powerful family, so we gonna bring the wealth together. I'd rather have like relationships based off of value. But yeah, cause like I understand too, like it's about experiences. Like I told my baby mom, I said when from elementary to like on the like middle school, I would much rather him be homeschooled. I feel like he would learn more. In high school, when he get to high school, I don't care if he go to school or not. Cause guess what? He gonna want to experience going to prom. He gonna want to experience going to football game, things of that nature.
Right.
So I'm saying, like, I'm not gonna take that experience away from you, but I want to make sure that you're prepared to go there first. 'Cause I know how kids is in school. I know, like, kids gonna try you, shit gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So,
But they want to learn. Like I've noticed as I kind of removed, and that's the thing I was saying was like the unschooling, kind of letting them get into what they want to do and coaching them and providing the resources for whatever it is they're talking about that they want to know. I noticed that my children be signing themselves up for stuff and different courses. My daughter told me today, she's like, Mommy, I signed up for a cybersecurity college course. I'm like, what? So I have her email me because we use email to kind of stay in contact with certain things, keep it organized. But I have her email me what she's interested in, and I'll look into it, or she might sign herself up for stuff. And then just let me know about it. And I kind of let her, she's 16 though. So I'll let her do her thing. But I notice all children, they want to know, they want to learn, they want to explore. So you just give them the resources and kind of back up, and they kind of just do their thing for real.
I can tell you this though, like when kids are in school, it maybe only during lunch and recess do they really socialize. If it's 30 kids in the class, the teachers are just like sit down, shut up, and listen, right?
exactly.
Well, how
Yep.
much socialization do they really get unless you kind of have play dates outside of school? And
Right.
9 out of 10 times do we really do that? Maybe they get invited to a party or something.
And
But
that's the reason my kids had to come out of school, because they were getting in trouble at school
right.
for socializing.
But it is very important that we nurture that part of them now, because, when they get older, they're not going to really want to socialize.
Right. Yeah, majority of my son's friends, he met was like, he had friends before, like he met at the park or something like that. He got this one boy he played with in the neighborhood now, and this across the street is a little girl, a brother and a sister he be playing with sometimes. But for the most part, it's like, what's more important, your child learning or them socializing?
Right.
Like that shouldn't be the criteria that makes you say, "Oh yeah, I don't want him to use homeschool because he's not gonna have a social life." Like, no, we can still develop a social life. We just have to go through alternative methods.
Period.
Honestly, we could, because we're all on the same page, we can create those opportunities for our children. Like, let's just say we decide, every 3 months or something, we're going to have a trip where we link up and all our children are, interacting, and maybe we facilitate an environment where they could learn a certain topic, or their focus is in a certain direction and sparking certain conversations. And we can just, feed that interest, whatever it might be. You know what I mean? Let's just say it's
Best
gardening.
idea.
Right. What was you saying?
I said that's a dope idea.
Yeah, I think that'll be awesome. Even virtually.
We can create like a homeschool club. Like I saw on Facebook, there's something called Club Homeschool. In New York, they go on trips, and maybe they do like, online stuff as well. But what we could do something like that where, like for my son, like he plays Roblox. Maybe every Thursday there's like a Roblox class, or, and once a month we take a trip or something like that. That covers socialization.
Right. Because my kids play Roblox a lot, and it actually gets on my nerves.
And I stopped mine from playing because, it's not as safe. So, I wanted to kind of create something where we have like a private server, and maybe then, that's our own club Roblox or whatever we want to call it.
I do get it.
So I heard a lot of stuff tonight. A lot of good stuff. Sound like y'all want to link up and create something. That's my takeaway. I don't know.
I'd like to create a program like that link I just put in there. It's I don't know if you heard of it, Shakia or Derica, Funcation. Have you guys seen that program popping up?
I haven't, but I definitely looked into it when you posted it. And it sounds fun. I'm interested in looking deeper into it. I didn't
Yes.
really go into it.
It's more interactive because you actually will be in a classroom with kids. They just have like a little avatar that represents themselves, but there's an actual teacher, there's actual kids, and it's not like a Celis or Power School where it's just self-paced. I mean, I think it's still self-paced, but at least now kids are talking amongst each other.
And you said it's called what?
It's called Funcation. Like I'm still looking into it. I signed up to be on their like waiting list, but I feel like we can do something like that.
Yo, so guess what, y'all?
Absolutely.
We don't have to do something like that. We don't have to say we can do something. We already doing something like that.
Right.
Like that's what we doing right now. Like I don't know if I'm the only one that knows this shit is called Sunday school. Like at the end of the day, we got all of the grown folks on here, but if you was on here and you had your young learners with you, they in a room full of, you know what I'm saying, like their peers, people that look like them, grown folks, kids, adults, other kids, you know what I mean? And we just curate whatever the subject is today. And it doesn't have to be on Sunday. Like we have enough people in here that could teach something, right? So I'm gonna double down on job. We want to keep them entertained and on task. But if you got with Jaja and said, hey, let's take a Thursday evening and like, what are you making for dinner in your house? Can you set up your camera and cook and show us, you know what I'm saying, why you doing it? But show the whole process of like how you clean the vegetables and blah, 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 right? And now, if she told you beforehand that this is what's on her meal planner, this is what's being made in her house today, like you just go buy the same stuff. You was gonna cook dinner anyway, so cook dinner on Zoom with your kids, and this was part of your homeschooling curriculum. It just happened 7 o'clock at night, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, whenever dinner was being prepared. But if she did it, if she prepares dinner at 4 o'clock, and you don't get home till 5:30, you missed it. She can record it, and now you have the recording of her doing it. You know what I'm saying? Put your iPad, set it up on the stand in the kitchen, and y'all are making dinner with y'all tonight. The thing that y'all saying we could create, we've already created it. It's just not being used for that. Am I tripping or am I not tripping?
Nah, I
Somebody.
love
No, you're not tripping.
Nah, you
You're
on
not
right.
tripping.
my
You know
wheels
what
are
I'm saying?
turning.
Now the thing is all of the great ideas, the great we could, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm a motherfucker, man. Fuck let's talking about it, man. Like I do enough fucking talking. You know what I mean? Like I get tired of hearing me. Like the fun for me is doing the shit and then talking about it. Now let's talk my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you know what we was doing yesterday? You know what I mean? Just do the shit. So the folks that's on here that, you know, was uh invested in the conversation and the folks that's on here that didn't speak but was invested in learning and would could see themselves being invested in taking part in it. Y'all got each other in Mighty Network. Y'all got each other in Telegram. Start a conversation. Map it out. And then, you know, I mean, if y'all need help thinking it through, or you know what I'm saying, like the implementation of it or recording it, or you know what I'm saying, like the the detail portion of it, you know what I'm saying, then y'all got access to folks that could, you know what I mean, walk that dog with you. Use us. Make something. That's all I'm saying. And this coming from a motherfucker that was in the 10th grade 3 times. So education, the way that our kids is getting it in a traditional fashion, who fucking cares? It's our job to teach them little niggas. Little people, my fault, excuse me. It's our job to teach the little people. Any thoughts?
Appreciate that. And I didn't participate. I was just soaking up the game you guys were giving. And no, I agree. And yeah, I appreciate the info, man. I'm just soaking it up and hopefully it'll come in use in the future to do something in the future with people in the group network and all that.
Okay. What about the end in here? If anybody got any parting words or comments, yeah, man, shoot them now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, quick question. So the link for the Derek Grace part of it, we just click it in the Telegram and it should directly put us in there.
Yeah, it should put you right into the waiting room.
Okay, perfect.
And just slide in. So it's just be patient. And just be patient and just keep an eye on Telegram in the meantime, because I don't believe that waiting room has opened up yet. But it's probably going a little bit slow, waiting for me to, you know what I'm saying, end this out. So let's get out of here and get over there, y'all.
No
All
problem.
right? But the link is in Telegram. And you can RSVP in Mighty. I didn't understand nothing you said, Transformer. Yanni, say it one more again. Well, let me put my good ear on. Yeah, but you sound like a robot or something.
It's because I'm casting to TV. So you can hear me.
A little bit.
Okay. I say I love how action oriented you are. You
Okay.
I'm doing it right now. So now and your advice is me. What day is a good day so we can make something together.
Okay. I think I know what she said, and kudos to you said, yeah. But let's take action, baby. All right. I'm out of here. Thanks, Johnny. Peace, y'all.